What's up, MFs? Welcome back to the podcast. This is episode 224. My guest today is B.hunt. And before we get into the podcast, I would like to give a shout out to our sponsors for this episode. We got two new ones. A big shout out to Post Baseball Academy. They're focusing on teaching the fundamentals, creating a good work ethic, and creating teamwork. This is located in Post, Texas. This is ran by my father and a few other fellas. So shout out to them for putting in the work after work to help the young kids learn the game of baseball. Man, America's pastime. It's a great sport. Love it. And I really am. I'm super excited to see what they're gonna do over there, man. It's quite often that you find that people drive from these towns to Lubbock to enroll their kids into programs so that they can learn. But now it's being done in Post, in these smaller towns. Well, Post only, that I know of. So if you want to teach you want to, help your little one grow in the game, grow in the fundamentals, and just being in a team, I would advise that you guys go to this. You can find them. You can contact them at 806-474-9565, or you can contact them at postbaseballacademy@gmail.com, and they are also on Facebook as Post Baseball Academy. So I'm really super proud that it's family doing it, and that they're doing something for the great city of Post, Texas. I may not be from there, but I like to rep it when I can. I'm actually wearing a Post hat right now. Would you believe that? Wow. So shout out to Post Baseball Academy. They also do like raffles and little prizes here and there to help raise money for the kids. So if you don't have a kid, you want to support these guys, you can buy that. And I believe baseball season is right around the corner, so they will be going to tournaments. And this is fundraisers, this is a way to help them, a way to support the youth. And they do have merch right now, I believe. So please hit them up and help support them. I would also like to shout out Momentum of Roses. And, my two sponsors are actually not from Lubbock, but they're both 806. Momentum of Roses is from Amarillo, Texas. He's an upcycled streetwear brand that focuses on taking single moments to get lost in, to keep momentum, create, and find peace of mind. He's a great dude. We actually have a podcast coming up with him very soon. On the podcast, I was given this. I don't know if I've worn it on other ones, but yeah, man, this is actually my favorite sweater right now. And he does really cool stuff. And, it's not from Lubbock, but it supports the 806, supports Lubbock, supports local people. Same for Post. Please look at their websites and their Instagrams and their Facebooks to support them one way or another. You can support this podcast by subscribing to our YouTube channel. You can find us on patreon.com/snakepitstudios. And I'm going to start setting dates. So Tuesdays and Thursdays will be when the Snake Pit drops at 12 p.m. or 8 p.m. I haven't decided yet. And then on Fridays, we have Lords of Film, which is Hella Soft and Bradley's podcast where they do film reviews. And that'll be dropping every Friday or every other Friday on Fridays. And then Pirate Radio actually is moving to, it's moved to Patreon, but once a month we will drop one on YouTube for free for you MFs. And then the rest will be on Patreon for every Monday we will drop those. And then on Saturdays, we will do Lawn Chair Sports Podcast. We will drop those on Saturdays whenever we do them. It's going to be a little bit less frequent now that football's about to be over. And then on Sunday, mine and Dylan's new podcast, Dylan and Roy Question Everything, will be dropping probably every other Sunday, but definitely on Sundays. So these are all the podcasts that you can listen to. We also have Conversation Pit, which will be, we'll be dropping just randomly throughout the week. Those are $1 tiers. 25 slots available for $1. After that, it's gone. You got to pay $5 a month. Wow. Yeah, I know. So these are all ways you can support us. Catch us out at the First Friday Art Trail, asking people questions and giving away shirts. That's something we are doing now. And this is episode 224 with B.hunt, man. He's an actor. He's a voice actor, which is really cool. He is an an artist and a designer. I believe he has a fashion show coming up at the end of February. Be on the lookout for that. Please support all these people. They're doing great work. Please support the podcast. The best way for free is to subscribe. And I hope you guys enjoy the episode. And again, shout out to our sponsors. Thanks, and I hope you enjoy.
To go.
Here we are on the Snake Pit. B.hunt. What's up, brother?
What's up?
Dude, finally making this happen.
Hell yeah.
How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling pretty good. I've been really excited for this today. I've been pretty giddy telling everybody that I was going to get to come and check y'all out today.
Hell yeah, dude. You brought the mushroom glasses and, and the hat, dude. Looking good over there.
Thank you.
Hell yeah. Again. So, man, you do it all, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I like doing a lot of things. I got ADHD, so if I can need to keep my brain occupied. So I have a clothing line. It's called Brandana's Customs. I'm a voice act. My main passion is acting, and I really am trying to pursue voice acting right now. So I've done some stage. I've gotten to do a couple short films, but now I really want to break into voice acting and get to dub anime. That's like a milestone for me. And then eventually, I'd really like to be in a Disney movie or something. It doesn't have to be a main role, just really cool. Anything. Yeah, I'd be a big check mark off the box, or a big box checked off or whatever,
Yeah, we did a podcast the other day with the guy who was in the college football. Mm-hmm. And I told him, I was like, I want to be in a video game, but another thing would be to be in a cartoon.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool, man.
I would love to be in a video game as well. That's another big one. I would because I'm not a huge video game person. I am more of a cartoon person, but I would love to. I always like when my homies are playing games, especially when I was in college and shit, sitting back and watching my roommates play video games or whatever. And I was like, damn, that's a job. Somebody had to go in and record all this, even the grunts and everything like that,
Yeah, I saw my sister's going into high school, and I saw her elective sheet. Mm-hmm. Some of that stuff is I wish I could have fucking took in school. All the stuff that we're trying to do, it's classes now in school.
Yeah,
it's fucking crazy.
Yeah,
man.
It's crazy how it evolved. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So how do you get a job in voice acting? How would you do that?
So when I also make music, and that was in college. So when I was in college, I didn't know of very many avenues to get into that world. So we said oh, well, that was big SoundCloud rapper era or whatever. And so we were let's get a mic, start rapping. We'll learn how to use the mic and everything. And then maybe if we get an opportunity one day, maybe the music will lead to us getting being able to be on cartoons. Cause that was what we saw a lot of Vince Staples did a couple cartoons for Adult Swim. Of course, Tyler, the Creator, did a few shows as well. And so we were maybe that could lead to it. And then in the last few years, I found a few websites called, there's one called Voice Bunny. And they do little short things. Those are little commercials and things like that. And then there's another one called ACX, and they do audiobooks for Audible. And I really like audiobooks too. So that's another avenue that I would like to get into as well. And I'd even do instructional videos, welcome to Walmart. This is your new employee, hire, video.
Dude.
I want to be able to do all of those and I always thought I needed to have so many character voices, but my voice acting coach, she always tells me your voice will be what you get the majority of work on. And then of course, you can branch out and get to try more things with with your character voices, but you got to hone your voice first.
Do you have a character voice?
I have a few of them.
Can we hear one?
I could do.
On the spot.
I could do my this is my uncle. I have a really country uncle. He lives in East Texas or whatever, but he's kind of a boomhauer kind of voice guy. Okay, but he talk real fast like this, and then you can't really hear him most of the time. So he say a whole sentence like this, but it sounds like one word the whole time. And so when I do those, I can fall into him. I did a voice acting demo reel, and there's a voice that I do to my dogs as well. And so I try to use those voices that me being goofy around the house all the time or whatever. I try to hone in on those, and so I just do little voice warm-ups every day, and they help me be able to, I'll do my vocal warm-ups as my old man, or I'll do my vocal warm-ups with the voice that I use when I'm talking to my pets or whatever. And it just helps me get a little bit more range, and it makes me feel comfortable as well, more comfortable in my own voice as well, as on top of being able to build some skill with the character voices.
Holy shit! Are you familiar with the Wild Thornberries?
Oh yeah.
Can you go on YouTube? This is my favorite cartoon voice of all time.
Really
Eliza.
It's
I know
it's
who it
Dolby.
is.
YouTube. Go to YouTube and search Dolby.
Are you gonna do it?
I can't do anything on command. It just has to come out.
Yeah.
He's really good at it.
I can do it. I can't do it on command. But if the fucking YouTube.
Of course, Wi-Fi is starting to.
So did you did you grow up like on cartoons and shit?
Oh yeah,
man, I love that shit.
Heavy, like a Cartoon Network stuff, and then
Yes.
That was when I was with my parents. But I was mostly raised by my grandma, and she didn't have cable, so she would just go in that was like the $5, $2 movie bins at Walmart back in the day.
Oh yeah.
She would just go let me find random movies in there. So I would find little season 2 of this random cartoon.
That's a flea. Did you know that?
I recently saw a video of it was Red Hot Chili Peppers concert.
Yeah.
I guess someone put a Donnie stuffed animal on a stick and to get his attention, and then after they played the song, he did that noise right
That's Flea.
Yeah.
Thing of all
What
time,
the
brother.
fuck?
Can you pour me some?
Learn something new every day.
Yeah, thanks to Instagram, I learned that.
Yeah, damn, that's crazy.
there. Here we go.
Yeah, so the people,
Thank you.
But
the true Snake Pit supporters who watch the YouTube, they can watch it with us. Maybe. That's what I get for talking shit.
Wild
God damn.
little, like 5-year-old boy kind of sound.
come on.
Is a wild little animal like 5-year-old boy kind of sound.
I ain't gonna know. Whatever.
Donnie.
He's my favorite, but yeah. So this is kind of how it worked for you? You just learned from all that?
And my first thing that a little small weird thing that I really like about listening to different voice actors are laughs. So now I watch a lot of One Piece, and that's one thing that they really focus on. Every villain, especially that they fight, has a different really obnoxious laugh. And they it is just I don't know why that gets to me every time, but I love hearing how people will do that little nuanced part of a character. Of course, the whole character voice is cool or whatever, but then hearing how they'll also laugh in character, it's damn, that's fucking cool. It's just I really it's something that has so many different applications, and then so many things you can do, even just within cartoons or just in a video game, or even just doing commercials, for a bank. That was when I was in college, I took a radio theater class, and that was the first thing that got me into the idea of oh shit, I could be in a cartoon. Because we did the course throughout the semester, and then at the end of the year, we did a live radio play. And so there were people who got to sit out and watch it in the crowd, but we just did all the sound effects and everything. It's called Foley when you make your own sound effects. And so we had bike wheels with weird sticks, and that would make thunder sounds, or we'd have horse trotting, and it would be cups that we would hit on the table to make the clomping sound. And that's how they do a lot of things in Hollywood too. So there'll be people who will go in and over kung fu movies, or even different action movies and everything. You'll think it's an explosion, but really it's a guy, and he has a weird bag or something that he hits, and it makes that boom sound for him, and they'll go over and dub video. And since you can't
I've seen some behind the scenes
right,
stuff with that.
yeah. And so and so being able to see all that, I was damn, this is a job. Even just within that, you can go be a Foley artist and work more than a voice actor, and so there was just so many different applications for it. Even with acting, with doing stage things and everything, I've gotten now the main work that I do is I actually do a lot of shows at the Buddy Holly. We take touring shows out of their trucks or their buses, load them into the theater, set everything up for them, and then after they're done, we tear it down and load them back out so they can go to their next spot. And so it's a really dope job. And so that one of the things that doing theater, being a theater major in college, connected me to.
Did you go to tech?
No, I actually went to school in Iowa. So I grew up here, moved to Iowa. I graduated from Lubbock High in 2011, and then moved to Iowa and then moved to Colorado after I was done with school. And then just moved back here because I inherited my great grandpa's house. And so I'm like fixing that up and then gonna go keep trying to pursue my acting from there.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about that. What do you mean? You're just keeping it maintained, or you like
So like I had
renovating
to I had to like renovate it hard. Like it was like old like 70s shag carpet in
That
there.
sounds cool though,
like,
man.
It was, but then my grandpa, like he died at 96. So he was like that last like 6-7 years, he didn't really like maintain the house very well. So like the carpet was like getting ratty and everything. So I had to like tear out all the carpet. It was me and my former partner. Like we tore out all the carpet, put down like, planks or whatever, and like had to redo the kitchen. We like ripped out all the cabinets and put in new cabinets, put in all new windows, had to like repaint and everything. Cause it's just like he smoked cigars too. And so like the walls were like smoke stained and everything. So it was a fucking task.
Dude, last night we were all smoking. We had 4 of us in here smoking cigars. My mom got pissed. It smelled up the house.
Dude, you get one cigar will smell up the house, like 4.
I can still smell it on my hands today.
Yeah.
But I love cigars. They're good.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I didn't smoke one today, because we got in trouble last night.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
When I graduated high school, we were like, yeah, let's get some cigars since we graduated, and fucking started trying to rip cigars. And I mean, I'd only like really like smoked weed at that point. So I was trying to hit it like weed, kind of took one wrong gut, like engulf in, and was like, oh my God, like this is terrible. Why do people just do this?
It'll beat you.
Last time when I got home, I ended up finishing the cigar. And by the end, I was like, oh, like I felt that nicotine, like downer. Like I was just like,
I love that shit. But yeah, we got in trouble.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Did your mom come in?
I think it was-
She texted me.
I think it was my cigar because I was just puffing away.
He had the premium one.
Ooh.
I was just going all out, and it was like a blue smoke too. There was just something. It was a good. The flavor of it was chocolate and earth.
Oh.
So it was a really good cigar.
Yeah.
He's on one, man. I don't know about that one. Mine was $3.
Yeah.
It was 16.
Yeah,
Keep it real.
Yeah, mine was $16.
Fuck, dude.
That sounds like really tasty.
It did. I think it smelled good.
It was good.
But we blocked it out with all their cheap cigars.
Yeah.
Yeah. It still kind of smells like that in here, but whatever. We'll let it air out for a week. We'll be back on
Yeah,
next
we
week.
did.
Yeah. So you went to school in Iowa.
Mhm.
How was that? Was it completely different?
No, honestly,
Like
it's very like West Texas-y,
Really?
but like with
Corn.
like it would be like if there was no Lubbock. It's like this like northwest part of Texas with like no Lubbock. So there's not like really a place super close that had like a mall or anything like that. So it was good to like finish school. But then like when we would party and stuff, we would go to like, there were townie bars that just had like a college night. So we'd like go to college night at the townie bars, and it was chill, but like there'd be some sketchy people there sometimes. Like meth is really bad in Iowa, and there'd be some sketchies like hanging around the bars and everything.
Shit.
So like
Sketchies.
Sounds like Post.
right.
Man.
And like really, the place that I went to school in is called Pella, Iowa, and it's really tiny, like Post, you know.
Oh, okay.
So it would be like if Post had a college there, kind of shit, you
yeah,
know.
now I get it.
Yeah.
What
it's
part of
fucking-
Iowa is it?
Yeah, central Iowa.
Uh-huh.
Like
How far are you from Des Moines, or
Like it was like 2 hours from Des Moines.
Okay.
Yeah.
are you closer to Ames, Iowa?
I think it was closer to. I think it was about equal distance
About equal,
from like
okay.
from Des Moines, and I think Des Moines is like west of it, and then Ames is like northeast of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it was just like right there in the center.
Is Iowa north of Nebraska?
It's to the
It's to the
East
west
or west of
east.
Nebraska?
No,
Yeah.
east.
Let's
Sorry.
see if they know their geography.
yeah.
I've been to Nebraska. That's the closest I've been to anywhere.
I'm like,
over
I
here.
literally don't. You asked that question. I was like, why the hell would they know that?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I wouldn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't know either.
I barely knew that. I lived there for 4 years and barely knew
Yeah.
that.
It's north of Missouri. I know that.
Oh, okay. Well,
Oh my
Yeah.
god, y'all start spitting out directions like a dizzy.
Yeah.
I'm nauseous.
the Ozarks.
So bored.
You ever watch that show? The
I did.
Ozarks.
I watched a couple episodes.
I
and
like
it's
that
just
show.
badass.
It was
Yeah.
fucking cool, man. Those guys are crazy. It's like moonshiners, but whatever. You know, I think they were battling over some. That's boring stuff, anyways. Anyways, so when you were like in school and shit, did you kind of know what you wanted to do? or did it take going to school?
I've been acting since I was like even with like church plays and things like that since I was like a kid. So I always wanted to be, when I was younger, I wanted to be a chemist. Like I was a real like big nerd. I wanted to be like a chemical engineer and like then do like chemistry, like research, like later in life. But I started like as I went through school more and like really got to like the high school era, I was like, oh, okay, I think I might not want to like keep going to school for this forever. And like the more math that got involved in it, like I'm good at math, but don't want to be, like I hate.
Man, you gotta really love that shit.
Yeah, like to keep doing it and like imaginary numbers and all kinds of shit. And like, and I thought that chemistry when I got to high school was going to be like actually like working in a lab, but it was like 2 years straight of just like learning equations, and I'm like, fuck, this is whack. And they're like, this is what college is going to be as well. You'll have a lab where you can maybe do like 2 hours a day of something, but most of your days are going to be filled with, like it would be filled with you learning equations over and over again. And I was like, I don't know about this.
Like, what the fuck does Z mean?
Yeah, right.
I'm gonna let you on a little secret. I just remembered this. Another thing I remembered in fucking high school. This guy used to sell ecstasy to my friends because he made it. He was a chemist and he made it in the lab. I ain't gonna say what school, but we're in Lubbock, Texas, so you can guess what school he was making it at. But yeah, dude, he was making fucking MDMA.
That's
I just
wild.
remember that. He was a chemist. Yeah, you could do all that stuff. I guess.
Bad shit.
Hey, but it was pure.
Yeah.
So whatever.
Yeah.
No, I never did it, but I should have.
Like a chemistry teacher.
He was a student at.
Oh, he was a student. I was like, that's some Walter White shit.
He was a student at a university.
Yeah.
And he was making. He had all the best equipment. So
shit.
Fuck it. I guess he never got in trouble. Sorry, brother.
Yeah.
That was 10 years ago.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. So that was. So you've always been into the acting and all that.
But I thought I was like, I can't be an actor, like I need to pursue something realistic. And so but as I like got older and got to do more of like the backstage things and stuff, I was like, oh, there's like a real, like you can make a real career here, even if you don't become like Will Smith or Brad Pitt or whatever. You can really just be in the world still. You can be a cameraman, you can be a sound guy. Like there's so many different aspects to each like realm of acting, like film, TV, like all these different jobs that you can have and be able to work your whole life. And
it seems like they're more in demand than anything. Like you need
for
those
sure.
guys.
For sure.
Yeah. And
that's even in like Austin and stuff. Because then you even think about like there's a cameraman who shoots like car lot commercials. Like, it's not even just movies. Like, yes, you can shoot a movie, but like you can work all year and you can shoot one movie in a year, but shoot 100 commercials, and so that's like being able to do all those. And like even I have a gimbal to be able to mess with and stuff like that, so I try to mess around with videography a little bit, but not like but like that's kind of a little over my head, like framing, I guess, and shit like that, like getting a clean shot. That's, I feel like, is a little bit over my head still.
I did photography for my friend on Wednesday. He had me take pictures of him. Season 3, Chris Fargus.
Hey, okay.
And he was like telling me all that shit. Dude, I'm like, dude, just tell me where to point and shoot.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about the jargon of this shit.
Yeah,
like the frame and all this and that. It looks great. It's a job. That's your profession. That's your hobby. That's your love. Cool. Well, I'm like, I don't know any of that.
Yeah,
shit,
I'm like,
dude.
I'm gonna let you guys do that part.
I didn't know all of that came from, like, you have to take all that into consideration when you're doing videography and photography and all that. I'm like, I wonder why they charge you out the ass.
Yeah.
Some people anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who did that video right here? This one.
Riley.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Yeah. He did a lot of stuff for me. Like I do music as well. So this was all to promote my, I dropped an EP, just like at the beginning of this year, or like kind of the end of last year. It was like December 16th I dropped it. And it's called The Waviest Wizard. And like it has like a lot of like weird like anime influences. Hey, that is. Yeah.
That's perfect.
Being in Iowa, like around a bunch of white people, they thought I looked like Wiz Khalifa, and I like smoked weed too. So like all those connections, like, and so they started calling me Wizzy. And so, and like it was like Wizzy was wizard or whatever, and so that was that. Like I kind of took that on and a part of my like personality. I like it. I like the name.
That is
now.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And then I like me and a buddy of mine like recorded some, like I did like a live performance
I've seen
just out
some
by the
people do
lake.
this.
Yeah, I did.
Who else did this?
I don't know.
Somebody else was, because I thought like y'all were doing a series. It seemed like
Oh yeah, like I split. So we like shot all this in the same day, and I just like split it up into like as many, like I split them up into like 1 minute clips, and I think it's like maybe 8 minutes or whatever. And just in like I actually edited it all on like CapCut, which is like TikTok's like editing program, because it was all free. I was like, let me try this out before I like invest in the more stuff. I have like Adobe After Effects and shit on my computer, but I was just like, I want to just make some quick like content to be able to promote everything, and like it turned out pretty good. Like I like the way it all like came together. And then I like in with my clothing line, I like try to everything that I make is like a one-off. So I make socks, hats. Like it started off with bandanas, so I called it Brandanas Customs. And so since I'm branding bandanas, yeah. And so I made my pants in it and everything. So I like used it to also promote my clothing line and the EP. And it turned out really good. And my buddy just like I just got the 14 Pro Max, and it has the cinematic mode, and it just is like, it gives you like much more clean shots than like even just my, like I had the 11 Pro Max before that. And like the cinematic mode is like crazy on it. And I was just like, damn, this is cool. And we just used my gimbal and just shot a little scene right out there. It's like the stabilizer.
Ah, okay.
Mm-hmm. You know, I just ordered it off of Amazon. It's like a cheap one. It's not like a Digi or any. It's not like one of the super fancy ones or anything. But it's like does a good job. Like
so, this is all on your phone. People, what are y'all doing out there?
Yeah, it's crazy.
I'm telling you, I'm glad when people like you come on. I say it every time. You can do it.
Yeah.
All these people making excuses.
I watched the Tyler the Creator interview, and he was like, if you don't have the big camera or whatever, do it on your phone. Like, yeah, it'll not be perfect, but you can get the ideas out, and then you can know when you do get the big camera, you can be like locked in. And, you know, like at that point, you're just got better equipment instead of having to learn everything. After you spent all that money, you can build your way up, build your skills up. And then when the blessing of the equipment comes in, you're ready for it. And you can do like bigger things instead of just being rudimentary with this $2,000 camera. Mm-hmm. You can, well, my fucking phone's a $2,000 camera, I guess.
I guess that's true.
But yeah, but you work your way up, and you like, don't let I don't have 10 mics, so I can't record my podcast. It's like, well, sit one in the middle. And,
Start it on my phone.
Yeah, exactly. And so like that, and build your way up. And like
make do with what you have.
Exactly.
If you want to do it, you're going to make it work.
Absolutely.
Does this apply to your clothing brand as well?
As well, yeah. Like, so with me, like, I use like different mediums. And so I'll like go to the pound store a lot, or like Plato's Closet. Like my niece really is getting into it, as she sees me do it all the time. So I bring her in, and she'll like help me with certain things. And so we went to like Plato's Closet today and like looked at all the clearance racks and stuff. And I try to find like weird shirts, or like I like made this jean jacket, and like I use like fabric paint on it. There's a different, like, this is like an iron-on foil. It's like a gold foil iron-on, and like I like go find like different little weird pins and everything, and I try to accessorize everything. But everything that I make it once, never the same way again. And I brought y'all stickers.
Oh, cool.
Here y'all go. And I got y'all all some socks. I don't know what size everybody wears.
Hey, that's tight.
But as well, like everything, they're all one-off. So like
I'll take the smallest ones.
I'll take this one.
Oh my gosh. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
No problem. And those are y'all's and
little bats.
yeah, those are y'all's and y'all's alone. I'll never make them the same way again.
Little bat socks. Oh my god.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And those are a polyester. Those socks are polyester. So and that's like a sublimation ink, so it won't fade over time. Like you can wash them, and they won't fade.
How cool!
And then y'all's are cotton, and of course, like cotton takes tie dye really well, and so I like tie dye a lot of socks and stuff. Those are like some of my like best sellers are the socks. Like, and it'll be like I do a lot of the First Fridays.
Yeah, you're always up there.
Yeah, I love it, and like it'll be like moms that come up and are like, man, I like the like I make aprons and like all kinds of crazy stuff like that, and like they're all hits with the moms, or like they'll either buy it for themselves. They're like, oh, I want some funky socks, and they'll grab them, or they're like, my son would love these, and they'll snatch them up, and then I'll see the son the next first Friday, and he's like, my mom bought some socks from you, they were dope. I'm like, hell yeah, like come back, you know.
So are you like a permanent guy out there, or do you just always get in the spot? 'Cause you're always out there.
I like Aaliyah, Young Crybaby. She was the first to invite me out there when I like first moved back. Like I had moved here like in June of 2021.
I feel like that's when I remember you, and we did Lubbock Live in her studio. We did the live podcast. and you were right out
That's
there.
what I meant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she like we met at it was called Freedom Fest at the East Lubbock Art House, the new like art house they put on the east side.
That's a yearly thing, right?
Yeah. And so I met her there, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, you know, she performed, and like how crazy her voice is. It's like, what the fuck? Like she's here in Lubbock. And then I like got to talk to her. I'm like, you're from Lubbock? Like, what the fuck? And she's like, I would have said the same thing about you. And
There's a lot of cool of us.
yeah,
cool
exactly.
People out here, man.
Right. Yeah. And that's in getting to meet her, like introduced me to so many different, like y'all, you know, like the Riley, like who like did a lot of the photos for me and stuff. And she just inspired me to like, at that time I had a lot of the clothing, and I just was like kind of sitting on it. Like I liked doing it, and I was like, well, and mostly I would make stuff that I would wear. But then there were certain things I'd find, and I'm like, oh, I want to like do something to this jacket. I want to do something to these pants. They don't fit me, but I want to do something to them. And she was like, you should come out and like, if you have merch, like you can bring your merch out, and like if you want to perform, like it's gonna be a show and everything. And they used to do the CASP block parties before. They opened because the people who did it are Cassandra and
Art
Robbie.
Depot.
Yeah, they opened up the Art Depot. I haven't even gotten a chance to go over there, because usually I do the first Friday still just in that area, because that's where the most traffic is or whatever. But I met Aaliyah, and then there's a guy who I actually met because we talked about voice acting. He used to work for the Animaniacs. His name's Will Terrell. He's in Studio One, and that's where I like set up now. Like we started talking, and then when they moved, I was like, oh man. And then Aaliyah lets LBK Vintage set up outside of her place a lot, and so to not like clog up the area with like another clothing person, I like moved down. And then it's like really cool, and like I like that area because it's like I get a lot of traffic coming up.
A lot,
yeah, and
It's
so
a really busy area.
It is,
Nice.
it is, and like honestly, moving down to that spot like doubled the amount of money that I'm.
Because you're like the first one they see, right?
Yeah, exactly, and so that's like really dope. Yeah, so like location, you know, and so and people usually go that way to go to Two Docks as well. But when you get over to Two Docks, there's like 12 people who like do clothing and everything like that, so it's like really congested. But then on the flip side of that is that like if someone starts over at Two Docks, then usually when they come to me, they're like, they don't even like pull, you know, they don't even like walk up to me because they're like, oh, another guy selling clothes or whatever. But a lot of my things are like vintage or whatever, but I try to make everything different. And so, yeah, and I'm getting to I'm like wanting to like open up a website for it. And so Aaliyah and I are going to set up a show for February, and it's going to be like I call them piece parties, since everything I make is like a piece. Like it's not, I don't make 50 jackets. There's one.
Oh, okay.
I want to do a party where we have people out in the crowd. Like, so if all four of us are there, like you got a whole fit on, you got a whole fit on, you got a whole fit on, I got a whole fit on. Someone could come up and be like, yo, I love your jacket. They can't buy it off of you. Like you don't got to like take the jacket off, but there'll be a tag and it'll be like number 376. And and so we'll go back in and have someone who's writing down all the numbers, and the person pays for it. Then at the end of the night, so they don't have to carry it around and shit like that too.
That's a good idea.
That's actually really
at
cool.
the end of the night,
almost like live mannequins,
right?
And your live shopping.
When I was in San Antonio, I was like seeing a girl, and she like would do those, but they were she did them for more clothing lines that were reproducing the same thing. So it'd be 6 girls all in the same fit, but instead of it being a fashion show, they'd kind of like walk around the party and do like a little like mini performance kind of thing. But I wanted to even make it just like a step more chill, to where like you just see cool people, like y'all all have the look already, you know, and so like being able to drip you out as well. Then people are like, yo, damn, that looks really good on you. And it's like, and like, you know, it's for sale, you know, and like that, and being able to like do it. Cause I feel like that encourages people a lot more, and being able to, I've met so many people and like gotten to talk to so many different like body types, so many different like height people, like people of different heights and everything. And so when you see someone who looks like you wearing it, you're like, damn, no, that would look good on me. Instead of like on the rack sometimes can be a little intimidating, you know? And I feel like a lot of people don't want to like necessarily buy something just off the hanger, but when you get to see someone in it, you're like, damn, he kind of is my build, or she's kind of my build. I can wear that too. And I think that'll like take the brand to the next level. And so that's like my next step with it.
That's gonna be great.
Yeah,
That's really cool.
Hell yeah. And you also make bandanas. That's where the first.
That was my first thing that I started. Bandanas and the socks were my like first
things
I started out.
Yeah.
Because when I first came out, it was literally just a table of bandanas mostly, and then I had like a few clothing items that I had messed with, mostly like jean jackets. And then people were like, "Would you make me some pants? Would you like? I have these shoes. Would you like paint on them?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, you know, I got some paint at home, you know, and shit like that." And or I got a sewing machine, and now I have 2 sewing machines. I have a Cricut. I have a heat press. I'm getting a sublimation printer. I like use my buddy's sublimation printer sometimes, but
So what is that?
a sublimation printer is like it's more so like when you can't feel, like when there's an image on your shirt but you can't feel it. Like it's not like a vinyl or or screen printed. It's just like smooth to the shirt and it doesn't like fade over time.
Like this?
So is that like
that?
Would that be like somebody's like preference over screen printing and heat press?
I think that,
or is this like a fast fashion kind of deal?
I think that for me, it's less overhead, and then it's less messy. Like it doesn't it doesn't need time to dry, because like it, sublimation ink works with, when you heat it up, it turns into a gas, and then it bonds with the fabric. And then by the time it cools off, like literally by the time you like lift the heat press off of it, it cools and forms to the fibers of the material. And you have to do it on like polyester or like rayon, like synthetic materials, because they like hold the ink better. And so like when it locks in, it's like there, and it doesn't like unlike screen printing, over time you can tell like your screen printing shirt starts to crack or it fades over time. And so like with these, it just is another step it's cheaper. It's like a cheaper overhead for me, and I have a better range. I don't have to do one thing 6 times to print it off. I can just get the image, heat press it, and then it's good. Like, cause I just have sublimation paper. So I like get the things on my iPad and I like draw stuff out, or, like make little shapes and like fuck with them and then put it on there. And then a lot of things that I've been doing with like pants and stuff lately are like a lot of overlaying. Like I'll deconstruct the pants. So things are like, get different materials or different patterns and sew them on top of it, and then like sew them back together. And those have been a real big hit with people too. Like a lot of the tech kids like really like my booths as well. And so if it's not like, it's like, yeah, like tech kids and like soccer moms are like the like target market. And I wouldn't have ever known that. I always was like, oh yeah, all the young people are gonna like it. But there's I don't know if y'all know Josh Yosue.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Okay. That's my fucking dude. I love him so much.
Man.
He's like, I always was like, oh, I want to sell to people like Josh. Like that's it, you know. And like I thought that would be like the people who would want to buy from me. But then there were all these like there was a lady who came and spent like $300 with me, which is like, I mean, some of my stuff is like, some of the jean jackets, if I take a long time on them, I'll sell them for like $90 or something like that. But she bought like individual little items and spent $300 with me. And I was like, damn, that's fucking crazy. And she was just like, I love this. And like, I'll get this for me. My daughter's birthday's coming up. My sister like really likes cooking. I'll get her an apron. Like, I'm like, damn, okay. Like, and she's like, oh, can I get this too? And she's like, oh man, you were ringing up already. Can I get this too? And I was like, oh shit. Like, yeah, I'm just typing it in on my calculator. I'm like, okay. Yeah. And so I really love First Friday because it's very encouraging to like get in people's faces or whatever, and like helps me kind of refine refine myself before I like put it out for the whole world. And so it's like I'm getting to hone the skills a lot. And then now I feel like I'm at the point to where I do want to like take it to the next level, have the website and everything. I'm getting to do, I want to do one with Jill, who's the other part of Riley. They do Locust Mags. And so I want to do a photo shoot with Jill and Riley because they both have their different styles, but be able to use those to like, of course I'll have the product photos, but then the like images that like show you like how cool you could look or whatever, you know. And there's so many people that I've met and I've been like, hey, like, will you follow me on Instagram? And like, if I like do a photo shoot, would you be down to like come with some of the stuff you've bought? And like, I'll have more things and like, we'll be able to like, cause I think you have that look, you know, that I want to like market the brand. And there's so many people like, hell yeah, I'll be there, you know? And so now I'm getting to like tap in with those people again. Like, hey, I like got a rough idea of it. And like, I'm hoping Riley's in New York right now, but when he gets back, I'm hoping that we get to like get that photo shoot.
He is Nina, son of a bitch.
Yeah, him and Guap. I don't know. Y'all know. Yeah. He's so cool. Like I like in getting to see them. They're both so cool, and like getting to see them like in New York right now. I'm like, God damn, like fucking go after it, you know?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Right?
Like, he Snapchatted me, and I was like, the hell?
Yeah, like
dang, that's pretty cool. Do you, dude? Hell yeah.
Yeah, he Snapchatted me. He was like, look, I'm in the subway.
Yeah, that's the one he said.
And then I sent him back, and I was working with my dad. And I said, look, I'm cutting tile.
yeah.
So let's talk about what is it? The East Side Art House?
East Lubbock Art House.
East Lubbock.
And so
what is that?
So there's a girl, she went to Tech. She's not from here. I can't remember. I think she's maybe from like East Texas, like Dallas, Fort Worth area. I might be saying that wrong, but her name's Danielle. She started doing she did nonprofit. She studied like nonprofit organizing or whatever while she was in school, and she saw that there wasn't any like art programs really on the east side. And when I was growing up, there would be like occasional like summer camps or maybe like a church will have a little small art thing, but nothing that was like more refined where people were like putting on shows and things like that. And so when I moved back, I was like, wait, what? Like there's an East Lubbock Art House. My buddy had told me about it because he was like going to go perform there. So he was like, come with me, you know? And when we got there, I was like, what the fuck? Like this is here? Like, and so many of those things when I finished school, like I grew up on the East Side and everything. And it always felt kind of like a trap, you know, like a bubble. Like I didn't feel like I could ever do much inside that like East Lubbock bubble. And even like I spent a lot of time, if I wasn't on the east side, I had a lot of buddies who lived on the north side as well. And that kind of felt like its own thing. Cause like, even though the north side is so close to like Tech, those resources like stop at the end of Tech's campus. And then it's just that, and then it's
you
the north.
Literally see the line.
Like literally. And it's just like seeing, like growing up in those areas, it just always felt like, damn, I got to get out of here to be able to do anything with my life. And now coming back, like with the CASP studios, the East Lubbock Art House, all those, like there's constant ways for you to be able to put your craft out there, test the waters. Like East Lubbock Art House is pretty inviting, and they like pay people to come and exhibit things because they do grants every year. And that grant money goes to pay artists to come be in the studio. And so it's not even like you're getting exposure. You're also getting like, you know, hundreds of bucks to get to come and like also just have your art out there. And maybe you sell some while you're there too. But even if you don't, you got some money in your pocket for putting yourself out there. And so I think it shows more kids that there's like, I love it because I think it shows more kids that there's so many different options, not just, sports, not just you know, like turn into crime or like not just like scraping by. You can go and pursue something that you really love and you can get paid for it like now, you know. Like what job is gonna, for, you know, like maybe maybe you have to be at your exhibit for a few hours. What job is gonna pay you like $300-400 for 3 hours? You know, like what job is going to do that? And that's even when I go and do the first Fridays for me, like working at the Buddy Holly and things like that it's nice. It keeps the lights on and everything. But I would love to be able to be like 4 or 5 days a week doing a booth, you know, and that is one thing that kind of makes me want to leave again. And I am planning on moving again. And so that like is something that I see on the horizon, just because like I think other places have just a little more going on to where I could like make my
someone for like you.
Yeah, like make my side hustles right now, because like mostly I spend my time working at the Buddy Holly. I would like to maybe do shows that I want to do. Like I still like do, because I like working there and I like doing the like stage. We're stage hands, and so like I like doing that work as well. But I'd like for that to be like something that I do like two times a month or something like that, instead of I do booths 2-3 times a month, and or I like voice act when I can. And now like I've built up a little studio in the house that I'm remodeling is a 3-bedroom. And so the smaller of the 3 rooms I turned into a studio. And so
nice.
Like I have like a couple iMacs in there, and then like a MacBook to where I carry
Don't let
it
the people
around
know
and
this,
stuff.
man.
Oh yeah.
They don't even know that.
Yeah, they all know where I live. So yeah, like
Yeah.
but that and so that like is just, it makes it to where I can really pursue all of those things at home. I don't even have to leave the house. I don't have to go pay for studio time. Now I have the resources at home to be able to do it. So there's no excuse for me to, now I gotta roll out of bed and walk past that room every day. So like it reminds me every time like, hey, get on it. Cause like this is more lucrative than you going to go work a 9 to 5 anyway. If like I can get those down, cause like doing audiobooks, you can like with ACX, the minimum amount that you can make is $50 an hour for recording your voice like that. And so that is like something that once you can get into those and like get something regularly like that, you're making like $8,000 from recording a book. Like if you were to record a Harry Potter book, that those people who do those audiobooks get paid like high 6 or high 5 figures to record a Harry Potter book. Yes, it's gonna take you a while. Like Harry Potter books are long as fuck, but on the other end, like it didn't take you that long. It took you a few days to record it, you know? And in a few days, you've made what somebody makes in a year, you know? And so that's just like
Give me that job.
Right. And that's and y'all are like, honestly, y'all are training yourselves for it right now.
I was literally thinking that.
You know how to speak into a mic. You know how you know how about balancing yourself, even the editing process and everything. If the more that you can do it, the more money that is out there for you. And so I think that people sleep on the fact that we my ex used to talk about this a lot. She would always say that like you undersell yourself, because not only do I know how I'm like, oh, I'm a voice actor, but then I also like edit things for myself. I like write a lot of I'm working on an audio drama right now, just like kind of like a movie in your ears. And I like wrote that whole script. I know how to direct people to be able to come in and record it. So even if you're like unsure about how you would do, I can help you with like my directing on stage experience. I carry that over to the voice acting, and I'm able to like get that emotion out of you with just your voice. You don't get to rely on your body, but it's just your voice. But you can make a whole experience for people. And that's like a whole like subgenre with this, like so many people release it in podcast form. There's like a Marvel one that I listen to. It's called Marvel's Wastelanders. And they take each season focuses on a different like Marvel character, and it's like in a like post-apocalyptic, like the heroes didn't win world, and it's so cool. And then like it just geeks me out all the time, because I'm like, not only where there is recording on this, but there's people doing the Foley, there's people editing it, like, and it gives like hundreds of jobs to record one episode, and that's just so cool. And like the more you get to branch out, is like, I think it's a wonderful way to get to like do a lot of good for people.
It is limitless,
right?
The way you can make money. Mm-hmm. Jesus, my goodness. You were talking about leaving. Where would you go? What do you think about?
I've been thinking about Austin a lot.
That's a good area.
Or back to Colorado. I really like Colorado as well. That was where I was at for a long time. But the acting opportunities aren't as frequent there. Austin's like acting scene is
production moving over there. Like they're building a new like studio.
Oh yeah, in San Marcos.
Oh, it's in San Marcos.
Mm-hmm. Which is like
debate about that, by the way.
Oh yeah, because people were pissed off because like they
ruin the river.
And already people are fucking.
We're not going to be able to float,
right,
motherfuckers.
And the beer companies do that a lot in Colorado. Like they just can pay they get fined every year. Like Coors dumps into the Colorado River.
Oh, don't tell me that.
Right. And so it sucks, but like it's like the government fines them, but it's like
They
it's
have all that money.
Yeah, they're like, all right, here you go.
Yeah, I heard there was some big things going on in Austin, like acting wise. That's what.
And it's in the market feeds into Atlanta, which Atlanta is a huge, because that's like Marvel shoots a bunch of stuff. TBS, Cartoon
Tyler
Network,
Perry's out there, isn't he?
Tyler Perry Studios is out there. He bought like a big,
Have you seen
like
it?
500-acre lot. Yeah, like I watched a little tour of him,
Yeah,
like
saw
showing it
that.
off, and it's crazy. Like whole like I mean not like structurally sound.
It was like a
houses or
military,
whatever, but
old military
base.
base. Yeah, he bought that motherfucker. It's pretty cool. He does everything there. All of it now.
It's crazy. And other people shoot things there too. Like
Yeah.
Oprah's whole channel network is shot there and stuff. And so, yeah, like Atlanta's a huge market now to where you don't have to go to LA. You don't have to go to New York, which the bigger cities kind of still scare me. I wanted to, when I graduated high school, I wanted to go to New York, and I went and visited and was like, oh shit.
Really?
Like little Lubbock boy, I don't know if I'm prepared for this. I think I would have got eaten alive going to go there. And so I decided on fucking Iowa. That was terrible. I was like, oh shit, I could have tried to make it in New York, but I don't regret it, because like the program that I went through, the school that I went to, like all our professors and everything were very encouraging and got me to where I am now. And like it was a blessing in disguise anyway, and helped me to where I like did good in school and everything, and instead of trying to party in New York all the time and shit like that. And I feel like I would have gotten lost in the sauce.
We got to go to New York, Jen.
I would love that.
New York's the shit, especially to visit. Like living there scared me, but visiting, it's the bomb.
I loved it more than California.
Oh, I haven't been to California yet.
Yeah.
Boo.
Yeah.
I wasn't crazy about California.
Yeah, whatever it is. But yeah, I would ideally like to make some money and live in New York for a summer.
Oh yeah.
Honestly.
Summer,
Like
I would
one-
do a year.
I could do a year.
I like Texas too much, but I'd love to live there for 3-4 months.
Texas needs to legalize weed, man.
They do. I don't even smoke, and that's the biggest
At
issue.
this point,
One of the biggest
yeah.
issues.
It's like, come on, stop being immature.
Yeah, that's I know a lot. Man, don't even get me down.
Yeah.
I don't even smoke weed, and I feel strongly about it. It's,
Right?
It's insane, but I would love to experience New York just for a little bit.
Oh yeah.
But we went out like past East Lubbock, and it was just flat, and I love it. I really do like the flatness, and I enjoy it. But I've never lived in a big city. Well, I lived in Phoenix for a little bit, but I don't count that.
Yeah, it's like one of those like not quite.
Well, I was
as
real
big
young
cities.
too. So
Oh, okay. So yeah, you can't even
as like an adult, I want to see like you say, I want to test myself and see if I can fucking make it out there. Who knows, man?
And like maybe you will like it. Like, and that's with me too. I was like, maybe if I would have went there, I would have maybe liked it. But like at the time, it just seemed like I felt like swallowed up as soon as I like stepped out of the plane. It was like, oh my god, this place is fucking huge. Like, what the hell is going on here? And I do like other big cities. Like Denver was really cool.
Denver's awesome.
I really liked London. London's dope.
I went to London.
Yeah, I got to go like in 2017. I got to go visit 7 different countries over a summer. Like my job, I was living in Vail, Colorado at the time.
Yeah.
And over during the winter, it's like peak season. Of course, you got to be there. But in the summers, like in that like post, like right after winter ends and it's like super muddy, they call it like mud season, because like literally the mountain's like mostly mud because the snow's melted into it, and no one comes there during that time. So for my I worked for a resort hotel. I was like a hiking tour guide.
Damn.
And yeah, so like they let us have you could take that time off, but then come back during the winter and still have your job, because they're like, it saves us money. Then you can go and do what you want during that time. So I just saved up and like bought things early. And like, that was how I made it cheaper. Like, yes, it was expensive as fuck to like go do the trip, like $7,000 or $8,000 to like do the whole, like I was gone for like a month and a couple weeks. And, it was expensive, but it wasn't as bad if I would have tried to like buy everything while I was like, I paid for like a lot of the experiences before I got there. Like, I went to I flew into Portugal. I was in Portugal for like a day and just for like a long layover, and then got to go like bounce around Lisbon, Portugal, which is like kind of a bigger town in Portugal, and it was super cool. The like food was really great and everything. I'm vegan, so like there's like once I got over to Europe, there was like way more options, of course, than like fucking here.
Hey man, chill, bro.
Yeah,
No, I'm just kidding.
and so the getting to Lisbon was super cool, and then I went from Lisbon to Manchester. Manchester was super dope. Like, and then we went to me and my buddy. He works for a translation company, and they flew him out to Europe, and so we went to Norway and like did a road trip on the coast of Norway.
Bro,
Norway's fucking trill, dude.
That's what I've always wanted to do.
It's sick, and so it's like mountains everywhere. Like fucking. I don't know if you know the Brave movie from. It's like a Disney movie.
Of course,
dog. Fucking like literally like it was like that with like a road there, and so we were like driving past all these places, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like dragons for show lived here at one point in time. You know, it's crazy.
Were you the only black man out there for a long time?
It was like that. I saw like in most of
there's, you know.
Most of the black people that I saw were from like Africa or like from Europe, you know?
Yeah.
And so that was like, damn, it's like crazy. And
because I've never been to a place where there's no Mexicans ever.
And that was one thing that was like pretty shocking to see, that like there weren't even like Spanish people a lot of the time. Or like when I went to like the main part of the trip, I like spent like about 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks jumping around. But then I went to Nepal. And so that was like, I wanted to go hiking in Nepal. So I like got to do a few like little like 3-day hikes. I did a 3-day hike, 2 days, 3 nights, or 3 days, 2 nights. So yeah, like out doing one hike. It was called like the Annapurna circuit. And then I did Poon Hill circuit. And that one was just 2 days, 1 night. And so like, yeah, we hiked all day.
Is that near Everest?
They're all kind of near Everest, but they were so much cheaper and like so much less taxing on your body. Because like literally, if you go up and die, if you like go up and hurt yourself or die on Everest, you don't get to come down. Yeah, so I'm like, like maybe not. And I saw I was staying in a hostel, and some of the guys that were in the hostel with me, like they were from Japan, and they went and hiked up Everest. When they came down, they looked like dead. You know, like they were like haggard, fucking like pale. They was like skinnier than when they went up and everything. I was like, nah. Yeah, I didn't beat cancer. I don't need to go hike Everest. I'm cool. Man. Like, yeah, I don't got nothing to prove in that sense. And so I just went and did, because even on the Annapurna circuit, you got up to like 16,000 feet or so, and like it was literally like me. Like your brain at that point has lost so much oxygen that it's like a delay. So I would like tell my leg to move, and then it would move. There was like a 2-second delay, you know? And so there was a lot of like stumbling, and it took a while to get used to it. But like when you sleep up at that elevation, your body kind of like levels out a bit. But then when you get back down lower, you're like, what the fuck, dude? Like, how was I like hiking through that, you know?
Oh shit.
You know, I was up there with like people from Australia and shit like that, and it was like so cool. And we all awesome. Luckily like the crew that I went with like all spoke English or whatever, but like it was cool to just see like people who like English was their like 3rd language or 4th language and shit like that. And we all just got to connect, and they're like, what? You're from America? Like a black dude from America, and you're out here? What the fuck? Like
yeah.
And it was a great time. And so like that trip like changed my life, and like kind of changed my like whole perspective on everything, and made me a little more, I was like, I think I could live in a big city. Like I need to try that more, because of course most of the things that I want to do would be better pursued in a big city than Lubbock. I don't want to have to like bring the scene to Lubbock, you know?
Yeah, that's what we're trying to do. It's hard.
It's hard. It's tough. It's tough. And I appreciate y'all for doing it though, because this is something so beautiful. And like even that first day seeing y'all, I'm like, damn, someone's shooting a podcast in Lubbock. I'm like, shit. And they're doing it. Like y'all were out there, you had your whole setup.
It was
and
so
like,
fun though.
Like it's dope. And there's something so beautiful about this like this grind, you know, and like you get to set this. Y'all are setting the scene instead of having to like come and adapt to it or whatever, you know. And I think that that's really beautiful.
Yeah, it's fucking tough. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it, man. We need to go to Europe, Jen. We need to go
Okay.
all across Asia and Europe. I'd like to go. I thought I'd like to climb Everest, but I don't know about that.
Yeah,
Maybe not.
I recently read some shit about just like all the dead bodies that get left up there.
They can't
And there
do
was
it.
one guy named Yellow Boots who had been
Yeah,
up
he's the
there for
marker.
like. They recently took him down.
Oh, did they?
They finally
Damn.
took him down. But he was like some Asian guy that just froze up there.
Like in the 70s, huh?
Yeah, and in that cave where he was, people will, it's known as a marker, as like a rest stop essentially. And they'll like go into that cave to like rest and warm up a little bit to kind of relax. But in that cave is another person who died, but they died hugging their knees. Yeah.
I'm like, no,
Yeah.
I'm good.
I hear that shit.
I'm good.
Think of the ghosts that roam around there.
Hell yeah. Well, that guy who was hugging his knees, apparently it was kind of sad because I guess like his group did leave him behind because he was just so cold he couldn't continue. But it's like at that point, if you're already having problems, you're not going to get back down.
Yeah.
No.
Like you're not going to go further for sure, but you're not going to come back down. So he pretty much just held himself until he died.
So people's
Yeah.
hearts like explode too.
Oh yeah, because like it'll like fuck with your brain, your heart, your respiratory. Yeah, even like your cognitive functions. I think it'll fuck with you.
Because you're losing that's like when you like have an asthma attack, like if you pass out from an asthma attack or you
Like,
choke
that's
for
it,
too long,
yeah.
like your brain starts to shut down. It's like, what the fuck, dude?
It's crazy. And then there's people,
Go ahead. Sorry.
it's crazy because on the other side, there's people who just do it fucking 5 times. They don't
Yeah.
they don't give a fuck.
Yeah, after like some life, somebody beats cancer, then goes and hikes Everest.
But
like,
those are
oh,
the
what
people that
fuck?
like truly
You gotta
like
train, right?
they break their brain in order to like really endure those things. Like those are those David Goggins motherfuckers that do that. That do that shit.
Shout out to him.
Honestly, yes.
For real
Those
though.
people that are like so desensitized to like pain being what it is.
Like how many people die because of that, because they start having anxiety attack? Because I would think that you start to think like, well, think of how high I'm actually am. Like
Like, I can't turn around.
Yeah, from ground zero. And then you just start like stuff just starts getting in your head and you start sweating. And then you just like your body just breaks down from it. So I can't imagine how many people have just had major panic attacks from that.
And that's
then
it.
That's it.
Fuck.
Oh yeah, that place will kill you.
The highest mountains here in the U.S. are like they call it 14ers, and they're like 14,000, like in
parents
that
have done one of
range, in that range of feet. I hiked a bunch of those to like prepare to go to Nepal, and but like base camp for Everest is like 20,000 feet.
Damn.
That's base camp. You're not even up the mountain at all yet. You're getting up to where you're at the foot of Everest is 20,000 feet. And then you go up to like 28 or something like that, 1,000 feet at that point. And like 10,000, you lose like 15 or something percent of the oxygen in the air at 10,000 feet. 28,000 feet. It's like, what the fuck is that? And I'm like, no. Like,
No, I'm good. Never mind.
and even like, so like that would be me, like the anxiety attack. Like if I'm like, oh my God, like, I don't know if I can keep doing this. And then you get down to base camp and you're
Yeah.
like, I gotta like climb down like 10,
And there
12,000
is no
more
option to
feet.
take a break or to rest.
Nope.
Really, like you just.
And there's not like, and it's a third world country still, you know, and even when I went was right after a earthquake there. And so the earthquake like fucked up a lot of the infrastructure that was there anyway. And, but then at the same time, there's whole societies of people. There's like villages up at those higher elevations that like have lived there for like ever.
Exactly. Acclimated.
They're used to it.
And and they just like there's a lot of I worked with a guy there's like a Sherpa families, and they he was the one who convinced me. He's like, you should go to Nepal. I was like, I've been kind of wanting to go to Asia, you know, and he was like, you should go to Nepal. It's cheap and you'd really love it. Like the food's great, and like and then the hiking as well. I was like, I want to go hike somewhere, and he was like, yeah, you'd love it. And I was like, I don't want to do Everest though. And he's like, you don't have to. There's so much other shit to do other than Everest. Honestly, Everest is like the way how many people do it is like pretty harmful for the like people who have to guide you up there.
There's only a window of time that you can do it, and in that window, it's so congested, so because so many people are hiking it at the same time.
Now there's lines.
I think they've stopped at all, like because of the line.
Oh yeah,
like, and then there was so much trash. They're like, this is not happening for a while.
And that's just like it's so crazy to think about that. Like I mean,
you just shit out there, right? And you just leave it there.
And imagine how much more dangerous it's going to be when they open it back up.
And imagine you having that panic attack, and there's a line for you to get down. You already have to just get down. Now you got to wait in traffic. Like what the fuck? No,
never mind.
No,
I just had a crazy ass thought. How many people go there and while they're hiking, they see a fellow hiker and they're not actually there. Like it's someone that died. Like someone's ghost just passed you.
I was going to bring up the ghost. We'll bring up the ghost stories here in a minute. But I have one more question before we get in that. You're vegan. What was your reasons for that?
My dad actually passed away in 2020. And so, but he had been sick since I was like in middle school. And his was a lot of his diet like messed up his heart. And so he ended up before he died, like from me being in middle school to when he died, had like 7 or 8 heart attacks, you know, and he had like, and it started to getting to the point where he had strokes and stuff. And like, and for me, like he got sick again when I was in college, and my professor, like I got really bummed out about it and everything, but she like gave me this like Johns Hopkins article, and it was like, if you change your diet, you can like save yourself from a lot of that. You can add years onto your life by changing your diet. Like stop eating red meat. So that was like the first thing to drop off. And it was like, stop drinking dairy. Like, because dairy is really bad for you. And I was like, oh shit, okay. And then my buddy, the big sway was my roommate in college. And he's the guy who convinced me to move to Colorado as well after we were done. Was like, hey, you want to stop eating meat for a month? And I was like, oh shit, can I still eat like cheese and eggs? And he was like, yeah, like let's just stop eating meat though for like a month. And I was like, damn, okay. And I started doing it with him, and I was like, shit, like I feel pretty clean. Like because we like worked out all the time, and I still work out now, and I have 2 dogs, so we like go run a lot and shit. And I live right by Hell's Gate and that like lake. Right up, and so we go run around that lake pretty much every day. And so like I like having my energy and being able to like play sports. I snowboarded a lot when I was in Colorado and everything. And so I've always liked being active. And so that just made me feel so much cleaner to go work out, to like, you know, like on Thanksgiving, I went and visited my family, my first like vegan Thanksgiving. I was like, damn, like I can go like, I'm good. Like I can go and like have a whole day after this, and my whole family's like dead after Thanksgiving dinner, you know? And that, and that just like from my dad getting sick, and then just seeing the like how good I felt doing it, like made me just stop eating meat. And then I started dating a girl in college, and she was vegan, and she was like, she showed me a bunch of documentaries, all those like early Netflix documentaries that were like showed you about the meat industry, or how McDonald's food is chocked full of preservatives and shit. Bad. Yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And so that was for me. I try to get my family now to be like, yo, just eat clean. Like go, if you're gonna get a burger, like go just get some ground beef and like cook it at home, you know, instead of just like getting a greasy, super processed preservative patty.
The processed meat is very bad.
Horrible for you.
I'm on that campaign to get rid of that too. I get that. And
then we live and luckily for my family, that was something that was easy to kind of convince them to do, because already we live in Texas. Like everybody likes to barbecue, you know, you're not gonna go get like frozen patties from fucking McDonald's to barbecue with. So like, you know, and I grew up around a lot of the men in my family like to barbecue. And so they always were like, when I was younger, I like had to be a part of like skinning a hog with my like my super country East Texas family, and they and that shit was crazy. Like one seeing them kill it.
Everybody should be able to. I mean, I think anybody who eats meat should do this. I really do.
It made me stop. That was my first time like chilling on meat for a while, because I was like, oh, and like the smell, like cutting the stomach open and like.
Oh, the guts and shit.
Like, oh, God. And it just like that smell wafting off of it. I was like, damn, this is what it takes to get ribs.
That's what I say. I think anybody who eats meat should see it. You got to. It's I think it's important.
And then we went and saw a kill factory for like cows.
That's
and saw the air gun or whatever. It's like a little that shoots a little
like No Country for Old Men.
Yeah. Yep.
for
And
women.
it's just like, oh my God. I was like, what the fuck? Like, this is fucked up. Like, this is fucked up.
That's how people eat, man.
And yeah, and I was like, that's what it takes. And so, like, for me, it just was like, oh well, and of course, there's the other things too. Like, I do like animals a lot and shit like that. So it's like the less harm to living beings or whatever.
What is your diet like? What are you eating?
I eat a lot of now there's a bunch of alternatives that aren't like soy. I try to like avoid
Soy's kind of
soy.
bad, right?
Yeah, soy is like it can increase your like estrogen levels in men.
Yeah.
And like can like give dudes breast cancer and stuff like that, especially like GMO soy. And that's like in a lot of the cheaper stuff. So I try to like eat a lot of like stir fries and things like that. And then there's a lot of like pea protein like protein sources now, like B.hunt. I don't know if y'all like know B.hunt burgers or things like that. They're all pea protein and like there's like wheat protein and stuff. And so pumpkins, like a lot of people make stuff out of pumpkin. And
I've seen like pumpkin flour and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, and pumpkin's really high in protein as far as like seeds go, or like plants or vegetables go. And and so I like I have a much more diverse diet now than when I ate meat. I was burgers, pizza, chicken strips and shit like that. And
would you eat like wild organic meat?
No, for me now, I just like don't. I think that like meat would like really fuck my stomach up
Because
now.
you've been away from it.
For so long. I think my body's just like, because it's been like right under 10 years for me now. And so I'm just like, I can't imagine now, like,
oh, I get it.
Because like even being around my family and stuff, like they'll be barbecuing or whatever and bring it inside and they're like, oh, you're not tempted? I'm like, nah, you know.
So what do you eat when that happens?
So there's so many with all those
Do you eat
alternatives
eggplant?
now.
I just had
You
some
do
eggplant.
jackfruit in those
I do
options?
jackfruit, like in I make a jackfruit pulled pork that's like banging.
I heard that is so fucking good.
Yeah,
Like when
and-
it's seasoned well, it's really good.
And if you get it fresh too, like it smells.
that up,
It smells
jackfruit?
pretty bad, but it when you get it fresh, it smells pretty bad to like cut it open. But the insides of it is fucking so good. And
Like, I've literally seen it look like a chopped brisket sandwich.
That's what me. I
Oh.
like make it like a.
They'll make like nuggets out of this, right?
I've seen people make like
Like it's ready.
birria tacos.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm not vegan I'm not vegan, but I have cooked with like meat substitutes before just to kind of see what it's like. And I mean, they're really, when you season your food, you don't really taste a difference. I don't think so.
And for
The only thing I can't
I'll
replace
want-
is cheese.
I'll be
I
honest.
have never found a good vegan cheese. It's like, this is cheesy.
I get block cheeses and they like have been better for me. And
What's
that's
that?
what I like prefer. Like it'll be just like the hunk of cheese
Oh, okay.
and I like shred it myself. And that like is what I like make like my taco nights with and shit like that. And so that's I really enjoy that. But like my main thing is stir fries. I love stir fries a lot because I like Indian and Chinese food a lot. And so
I just had tikka shack today.
hey,
Pretty good.
fucking banging. The other day I made it was like a spicy seitan, which is like a beef. It's like a beef alternative. And so it was like a spicy beef, broccoli, chickpeas, and kale over rice.
See, all this
Oh,
sounds
my
great,
fucking
but then I'm
God.
like, add some chicken in that.
Yeah, you know, like but with so many other things now they've matched textures. Like for me as well, when I was
okay.
first starting off, texture was the big thing.
No, that's
'Cause,
what I was gonna say. It's all mental for me, man.
Yeah, because just like how Jen was saying, like if you season it, like already right now, you're not gonna just eat a bare rib. You're not gonna, no one wants you to just throw a rib on the fire and just eat it, And so you're already gonna try to season it a bit. So if you do the same thing with the jackfruit, with like so many of these other alternatives, you get the flavor, but then now they're starting to match textures.
Nice.
And like there's a really good like Italian sausage that B.hunt, it's a brand called B.hunt. They make these like different like bratwursts and shit like that, and the texture's nailed. They nailed the texture now, and so for me, I'm like, I don't know why I'd go back now, and like, and for me, I just see the health, the day by day health benefit for me. And like, I don't gain weight. Like, I didn't catch COVID at all. Like the first, like I did a antibody test right before getting the vaccine because my grandma like had gotten it a couple times and I'm around her a lot. So it scared me. So I was like, let me get the vaccine so I don't get her sick. But the doctor was like, you don't even have antibodies. So you like have never caught it. And I'm like, damn. All right. And that was like deep into the pandemic at that point when they were like letting everybody get the vaccine, you know? And that for me, I was like, shit, like, okay, I've been doing okay. Cause you know, like I'm not like a super germaphobe or anything. This is like my hands are always fucking dry now because I like wash my hands like 80 times a day since the pandemic started. But but I didn't get sick that whole time. And I was like, damn, it has to be part nutrition. Like, and of course, like what you put in your body, you are what you eat. Mm-hmm. And so that for me, I like took that to heart. And like really now I just feel so clean from it. I like my brain feel like functions better.
Really?
Like I feel like I just have more energy to do things. Like I wake up better, all of that.
Yeah. Use your sex drive.
Oh yeah.
Way better.
Oh yeah. And that just like even just like my like libido, like my want to have sex even too, just like it makes it like, I don't know. I just feel like that body, your body's a temple kind of vibe, you know? Yeah, and like that just like really, I just like the way it makes me feel. I don't have like I used to, when I ate meat a lot, I had the like gut, you know, like dad bod kind of thing sticking out. And so now like I don't gain weight like ever, you know, and that just like helps me feel better about myself and like I feel good about.
You eat eggs?
No, I don't eat. I have an egg substitute as well. So like the one that I do now is made out of pepitas actually.
Nice.
And so like it's really dope too. Like it scrambles up beautifully and you can make omelets with it and everything. And like in it, the texture for me with that is like spot on. And then the taste is like I already seasoned up my eggs all the time anyway as well. It's just like there's no difference for me with that.
But this stuff, is it more expensive?
It is.
Yeah.
No, because I think it comes in a bottle, so it's like liquid eggs. It can technically make 2 dozen eggs. It costs me $5.
Oh, I'm just saying, like in general, your whole diet.
Oh yeah, my whole diet. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's pretty expensive.
Yeah. It's worth it though.
Especially because but then I guess it like on the flip side, I don't really ever eat out, and so I feel like I feel like it evens out because when all my friends go eat out, I don't eat,
so,
you know.
Not to put your
like
business
what you're
out there.
investing in a lifestyle breaks even to what you would be spending. Yeah.
So not to put your business out there, but the one time you did go eat out, you get hit. Your car.
Yeah. Fuck.
Damn it, dude.
Didn't even get to go eat out. Like
no.
just went home after
Went
that.
home
Like,
hungry.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
And when it cooked food at home anyway after that, I was like, God damn it. Like, why'd you even do
It's
this?
a sign from God, brother.
Yeah. It's just like, take your ass home. Like, you don't need it.
All right, man. Here's Jen's favorite part of the podcast. Do you have
Okay.
any I'll let her
Yeah.
ask you.
You said that you stay over there by Hell's Gates. Is that where your grandpa's house is?
Uh-huh.
Is it haunted as fuck out there? I'll tell you my story if you tell me yours.
I've had some ghost experiences.
And so I of course grew up around there. I went to Dunbar, and that's like right by Dunbar Middle School or whatever. And so my whole like childhood was spent in that area, and we would go and like I don't know why we were able to. Well, like we weren't supposed to be doing it, but we would go and you can literally like it's like the row of houses I grew up on. A row in front of us, and then you're down in that Hell's Gate area. And we would go out there at night to like scare ourselves because we always heard it was haunted. And we went out there one time, and there was like there's this like there's a lot of music videos and shit that are shot out there. It's like this little it's like just a foundation and kind of like a third of a wall, and it's got a bunch of graffiti and shit.
Train station.
Yeah.
Or are you talking about the little like slab of concrete?
Mm-hmm.
It's like and it's a bunch of graffiti and shit on it.
Yeah.
We were out there and we were walking around that area and we saw a girl just kind of sitting out there. And I don't know if it was an actual like person out there, but we like were walking up and we're like, yo, what the fuck? And like saw them and they kind of like ducked down and they were gone. They were like sitting out there, like really weird, like just sitting out there, like not really clothed to be sitting outside, and ducked down like underneath the wall. I don't know where they would have ran because it's flat. It's fucking Lubbock, you know, like I don't know where they would have ran or like went to, but they were gone. duck down behind the wall, gone. And I'm like, what the fuck? And we've gone out there and there's been like screaming, you know, and like we didn't get all the way out to Hell's Gate at that point because like we're walking up on it and you're like, what the fuck is that? And like not like like party screaming or even angry screaming. That's like somebody's getting hurt or some shit, or they're like
Maybe it was a
terrified
mountain
screaming.
lion.
I'm like, there's bobcats out there.
Yeah.
They scream crazy, man.
Yeah. And so I'm like, what the fuck was that? And so we got spooked out from that. But those are like mostly stories like that, like seeing weird shit out there, like mostly hearing though.
So when I was growing up, my grandfather taught me how to drive at the Lubbock Cemetery. Like, and it was because it was a dirt, bumpy road and there were lots of turns. And he would always make this joke, you know, you can't kill them, they're already dead. You know, and he had a big ass brown, like, Oldsmobile. So, like, I learned to control the wheel in that thing. So, when he trusted me to drive into Buddy Holly, you know, into that park outside of the cemetery, he would just kind of make me like drive and then go to the parking lot and turn around and drive the other side. So that he was just showing me how to do that shit. So we're driving, and you know how like, okay, if you're like leaving Lubbock Cemetery, the lake splits into two, and obviously on this side is like where Hell's Gates is because it dips all the way down, and then there's like that curve where all those trees are. Right. So I'm on that side and we're driving, and we're in that curve. And so you know how it's just, there's just lots of like shrubbery and just shit sticking up. So there's all of that going on. I'm driving and I see a little black lady in the shrubbery just standing there in a little pink suit and a little pink like pillbox hat. And she's just standing in the shrubbery. And so I am like 11, maybe 12. I have, you know, just learned how to drive. And like, so I just see her in the bushes essentially, and she's just standing there, and I'm driving, and like, she's just whatever. So, I mean, she looked like a little lady who was just in the bushes. She had no business to be in the bushes because she was dressed for church. You know what I mean? And, I passed by and I look back and she's gone. She's gone. I felt no fear. It was just weird. Because I was just like, this viejita, little old lady, this viejita has no business in the bushes, you know, but she's probably coming from her fucking funeral, you know what I mean? So,
shit.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's old Lubbock though. That's a very old part of Lubbock. So.
And it used to all be farmland. So like that was, and they flooded it. It's like they bought the land from the farmer or whatever the city did, and then they just flooded it out and put water there. And that was like there was during like the like relocation or reconstruction times in Lubbock, they like white people used to live in West Lubbock, or used to live in East Lubbock, like in that area. They wanted to move west and like develop the west part, so they pushed all the black people or like minorities east and then moved west, but they didn't know that like the more west you go, the more it floods because it flattens out a lot. And so like that it's crazy to see that like they did all that development there and then pushed all the minorities to the like north and east sides, but those are like the areas that like end up like being the best for when it does flood here. And now they're starting to gentrify those areas again and like try to move back into it. Like moving back here now is the most white people I've ever seen in my whole life. Like in the neighborhood that I grew up in, I live across the street from an old German lady. Really? I'm like, what the fuck? Like, where the fuck is this? Like, there was no like non-minorities in the neighborhoods when we were growing up.
Even like the Arnett Benson is like being taken over by tech students. Like that neighborhood is just slowly filling up with tech students, which is very unfortunate because the rent's going to skyrocket out there, and that is not a spot that rent needs to skyrocket
at all. And that's just like in even the property taxes going up on our grandparents.
That's my tia. My tia lives out there. We have family out there.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks. Man, everything's getting expensive.
Right? Yeah.
Fucking crazy.
Even Lubbock. Yeah. Even Lubbock. That's its thing. It's cheap to live here. Yeah.
Man, I do appreciate you coming on here, giving us some gifts.
Oh, absolutely.
Telling us about
Yes.
your
Thank you.
I love
life.
my song.
Thank y'all for bringing me
awesome.
out. I appreciate
We
you.
need to have you back on
Absolutely.
whenever you want.
Hell yeah.
When you move, is this like years from now, or?
I'm
Is it
thinking
gonna
it'll
be
be like within this year.
Oh, okay.
for
Well,
sure.
then we'll get you on before you leave.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But where can they follow you? Hit you up?
On Instagram, I'm B.hunt squared because my rap name's B.hunt, so it's
Nice.
B.hunt squared. Brandon Hunt on or it's B.hunt. I have a Facebook page as well, and then Brandana's Customs is my clothing line, and the sticker that y'all have, that's my logo on there. So like whenever you like go and see it, it'll be that my little wolf guy on there. But yeah, Brandana's Customs or B.hunt. And yeah, thank y'all so much for having me on.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
You got anything, Bradley?
Follow me at Bradley Noel Garcia, and I'll let Jen say.
Follow me at Texas Chainsaw Alchemist.
Come say it in this camera because that one died.
Follow me at Texas Chainsaw Alchemist. I am taking new clients always. And follow Lords of Film with the Z. And yep.
Patreon.com/Snake Pit Studios. Support the podcast. Shout out to The Humble Hustle and Unlucky Barber sponsoring the podcast. Thanks, guys. We'll see y'all.